imagine this car's just sitting there.
You can train a battery if you let it run down 50% and then recharge it again. After a training of the battery that way, that's the way it used to be, you're only going to get about 50% out of it.
I presume that that's probably still the way it works. Electricity hasn't changed, right?
No, the type of batteries, though, have changed.
Well, that's fair, but at some point, you got to imagine that the electricity can't just sit in this thing dormant forever.
That's what I'm saying. How long will it sit out in the sun before it's got to be recharged? And how much does that job pay? Because that might be a pretty good job for... well, my boy, Billy Ed Jr., I think he can handle that.
Right.
We'll go around plugging stuff in.
Yeah, isn't that something? It's
do you have to take the car to the charger, or do they have a charger that you can just take to all the cars? That would be much simpler.
I got to imagine a car dealership probably has a portable charger, right? Because that's a thing.
I would think.
That's a thing that exists. But one thing I didn't notice was them charging it well. And these were nice people. This was a nice car dealership. They don't specialize in electric vehicles or anything. They probably had as many electric vehicles sitting around as they had non-electric vehicles, and non-electric vehicles is their specialty. Like, that's the thing that they're trying to sell, but that's the one thing that they didn't have any of because people bought them all.
Do you believe, though, electric vehicles are the future? Not today, not next year, but somewhere down the road. We're at that crossroads like they were, like, say, in the early 1900s, when people were riding horses into town and automobiles. I think electric cars are the future.
There will be electric cars.
Probably most will be electric cars. But they're pushing it. They're pushing it too soon, and they're not ready. See, when the automobile came out and they told you to, I'll sell that horse. What you want is a car. But they waited. They had to just go through that time that it took for people to realize, okay, the cars have got to get better. You can't just drive it out there in the middle of nowhere. And there was no place to refuel. You had to carry your gas with you. It's still a problem refueling an electric vehicle.
I don't know if you realize it, but you're making a really great argument right now for why communism and Marxism and socialism never works.
I try.
When we transitioned from the horse and buggy to the car, were there subsidies for getting a car?
No.
Did they have to outlaw horses?
No.
Did you get punished? Did we ban? Do you understand?
I tell you were a bad person if you're still riding a horse? No.
Imagine the insanity of this. There's a town in Colorado called Louisville, Colorado. Right? I don't know if they pronounce it like the Kentucky people do.
I don't know.
But it's a very liberal town, and they just passed a law there limiting the number of gas stations you can have.
Oh, wow.
Because we don't want any new gas stations, right? And if any of these gas stations go out of business, we don't want anyone to replace them. Imagine the insanity of this. They're doing this for the environment.
Yeah.
Let's pretend you believe man-made climate change theory, carbon.
That's a big pretend, but sure.
What do you think is worse for the environment, right? People having the convenience of all the gas stations they need, or one gas station in town with a long line of idling cars
pulling up 10 feet.
Burning off carbon emissions.
10 feet.
What do you think's better for the environment? A gas station wherever it's convenient, or people having to drive out of their way? More driving.
I get it.
They don't believe what they're saying. The policy would actually create more pollution.
Sounds like these idiot politicians are putting the horse in front of the cart.
No. I actually thought that was pretty clever of Billy Ed to say that.
Cart in front of the horse.
Either way, it was a good analogy, Billy Ed.
And they're the idiots, right?
I'll leave him alone.
Huh?
Yeah, quit picking
Oh, yeah, scissor. Yeah, scissor me, Allison.
Janet, you're crazy.
Oh, this is hot scissoring. Oh, scissor me timbers.
Walton and Johnson.
After Walton and Johnson, stay on Highway 98.9 all day for the greatest classic rock of all time.